Welcome back. We continue to follow breaking news out of Haiti. Haiti's Civil Protection Unit says at least 29 people have died in the major earthquake that hit the west coast of the country this morning. We're showing you some pictures of damage and devastation in Lacaille on the country's southwest coast. The 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck about 150 kilometers from the capital, Port-au-Prince. The USGS says they expect a high amount of casualties and injuries. Again, right now, we're just getting preliminary numbers coming in. The U.S. tsunami warning system says that there is no tsunami warning after the earthquake. CNN's Patrick Oppman joins me now. He's standing by in Havana, Cuba. Patrick, thanks a lot for your time. I know you're following this story from where you are. Give us, in terms of the latest of what you're hearing. We've got some fatality numbers, but tell us what you know.
And those fatality numbers, while all four are very preliminary, officials simply have not been able to reach so many areas, they say, to either pull the dead from the rubble or to look for survivors. So certainly in the hours and the days ahead of time, as the government is able to reach the most hard-hit areas, which are a remote area, really a remote peninsula that is still suffering from hurricanes and from the 2010 earthquake, those numbers of dead will rise. And Haiti's new Prime Minister Ariel Henry says that he will be traveling to the area, that he has asked his government to devote all possible resources to help the people who have been affected, who have been left homeless, potentially thousands of people left homeless by this very strong earthquake, to provide immediate assistance. But of course, Haiti's government is very limited. There is a political crisis following the assassination of Haiti's president just last month. So aid groups are expected to step in and help as well. But the demand, the need is just so great. And on top of everything else, there is a tropical storm that has formed, Tropical Storm Grace, that is expected to cross over Haiti, bring a lot of rain, which the island does not need at this point, that could further destabilize structures, cause further homes and buildings to collapse following this very, very devastating earthquake.
Yeah, absolutely. As you rightly point out there, Patrick, I mean, there's so much that's going on there. They're still even trying to rebuild from that devastating earthquake back in 2010. But they've been dealing with, issues from Mother Nature. They've got political issues that are going on right now, and a great deal of concern in terms of what a great deal of uncertainty that exists on the island there. Talk to me a little bit about now in terms of the international efforts, the international aid that they will be getting in there to try and support them. As you mentioned there, the government is not sort of at its full force here, having Henry just come into the position there after the assassination of their prime minister. But talk to us about the international efforts.
Of course, in the best of times, this is a government that is very limited, has been over the years, is plagued by corruption. We saw that after the 2010 earthquake, where aid, hundreds of millions of dollars, poured into Haiti, and a lot of it was misappropriated. So certainly that is a challenge for aid groups that work in Haiti, that will be sending in aid, badly needed aid, we should say. And certainly while there are aid groups that are in Haiti at this moment, they don't have enough resources, they're telling us, for the challenges that they expect to face. And of course, an earthquake is not just a one-time event. We've had aftershocks throughout the day so far. There are expected to be more aftershocks. And when you have the ground that has already been liquefied, but you have buildings that have already been weakened, a smaller aftershock can be the difference to bring down that building. So certainly, while a lot of people were able to get out of their homes, they're not out of danger just yet. And to give people a sense of how strong this earthquake was, it was felt in eastern Cuba. It was felt in Jamaica. It was felt in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, really across the Caribbean. And so this is going to be something that simply changes many people's lives. And we've been in touch with people on the ground who tell us they continue to look for their loved ones. So by no means is this over, and we probably won't have a true scope of the damage for days or perhaps weeks to come.
No, absolutely. And we know that where you are, and of course, the U.S. trying to keep track of its citizens that might be out there. Canada also, of course, doing the same. But yes, you're right. It's going to take some time to really assess all the damage there. And unfortunately, as you say, that death toll could very well rise. Of course, a number of injuries as well. CNN's Patrick Oppman in Havana, Havana, Cuba. Patrick, thank you so much for giving us your time and giving us the updates today. Appreciate it.